Hi, welcome back to Bioenergetics. My name's Devaraj, and I think we're something like number 18 or so in this series of essentially techniques from bioenergetics. And today we're going to do something called the pelvic wave. As it's come from many sort of disparate sources, bioenergetics all over the place. I've also heard this move called the bioenergetic wave or the bioenergetic flow, or sort of things. I'm going to call it the pelvic wave today because I think that's the most accurate title, and it's quite an old exercise. I don't see many people, there's not so many teachers around anyway, but I don't see so many people doing it. But it's very easy to do, and if you do it for 5-10 minutes, it can really create quite a shift in your whole being, particularly if you've been on the computer and you feel a bit rigid and locked up and like your mind has really got everything super under control. A great strategy is to put stuff in the is to do stuff with the pelvis in that situation, because the pelvis has its own intelligence. You know, if it wasn't for the pelvis movements, you wouldn't be here, basically, bottom line. And the pelvis really does have its own intelligence. So the pelvic wave, I'm going to move back a little bit so that you can actually see what I'm going to do. And I think that'll probably be about enough. I actually, because I have a problem with my ankles from when I was a kid, I can't demonstrate it absolutely perfectly, but you should easily be able to get the idea from what I'm going to show you, which is you stand with your feet about shoulder width apart. I'm going side on for reasons which will become obvious very shortly. And you have your knees a little bit bent and your feet firm on the ground. And like a lot of standing positions in bioenergetics, the outsides of your feet should be roughly parallel. Not so you strain yourself, but roughly parallel. And then all you do really with your knees bent is the only movement actually comes from your pelvis, and you allow the rest of your body, particularly your upper body, to just follow it in a kind of wave-like motion. So how it goes is like this. If you look, you'll see all I'm doing is pushing my pelvis forwards, and then with my breathing allowing the rest of my body, particularly my head and my neck, to just follow the movement. It'll take a little while to get used to it, but after a while you'll feel like, maybe at first you feel a bit like someone's pushing you on a swing when you were a little kid, you know, his garden swing. And then after a while it can start to feel like you're just like a bit of seaweed kind of near the shore in the ocean, and you're just being boshed around by this pelvic wave. Eyes closed is good, knees quite bent. And the only movement comes from the pelvis, and the rest of the body just follows. So make sure your head can just lull in this exercise. It's really a chance for the head to just chill out for a bit and let the pelvis take over. And it's good to do this for 5-10 minutes, maybe to a nice relaxing bit of music. Set a time for yourself. It's also a great exercise if you've been doing more intense bioenergetic exercises and you want something to just complete with that really gives you a kind of blissful feeling. So I'm just doing this for a couple of minutes here. But that's it basically. That's the pelvic wave, bioenergetic wave or flow movement. Give it a crack and let me know how you get on. I'll soon be back with bioenergetic workouts, and we'll have some more of those coming up probably later in the week. Okay, bye for now.